Good afternoon, sir, and all my fellow friends. I'm Jai from Group 8, and my group members are Ong Yan Pui, Joyce, Wong Yuesin, Anis Fatima, Yap Qing Ru, Wu Ziying, and Li Kangqing. We will be presenting on our research project with the title Consistency in Religious Tolerance. Malaysia is well known for its pluralistic nature. Living in a multi-religious country like Malaysia is a challenging experience because it requires understanding and cooperation among the races to ensure good relations. Therefore, religious tolerance is important to invite people of different religious, ethnicities, and races to coexist and work together to better the nation. For tolerance to work better in society, religious tolerance must be practiced with an important element, consistency. Consistency refers to the condition of always behaving in the same way. In a multi-ethnic country, consistency in religious tolerance is important for people from different religions to always act in a good manner, such as consistently learning about other religious practices and rituals, consistency in respect, and consistency in showing love and care. To better understand Malaysians' perceptions towards being consistent in religious tolerance, we researched together and analysed the responses from participants of different religions. In this research, we aim to study how consistency plays a role in teaching religious tolerance among Malaysians. We predict that consistency is one of the keys to religious tolerance, as being consistent in religious tolerance is necessary for individuals within a society to get along. Unity and stability that respect religious freedom will also exist when religious tolerance is practiced consistently. However, not every Malaysian is aware that not being consistent in religious tolerance will lead to issues such as stereotypes, prejudices, and discriminations. Therefore, by exploring how consistency plays a role in teaching religious tolerance among Malaysians, the positive outcomes of being consistent in religious tolerance in society will be emphasized. This research will also increase public understanding and give awareness to society on how consistency in religious tolerance might positively affect the relationships between people from different religions. Therefore, this research is significant for Malaysians to be consistent and maintain religious tolerance, harmony, and a peaceful society in our beloved country, Malaysia.
Hi all, my name is Ong Yan Pui, and now I'll be presenting on the literature review. There are other religions are defining religious tolerance from a different perspective. In Islam, it defines as a al-tasamu in Arabic, which is in terms of giving and receiving. But not only one-way giving and one-way receiving, but it refers to two-way actions as open as possible. Islam encourages its followers to respect others' religions based on behaving with gentleness and tolerance, which will continue to carry on the principle of truth, at the same time, respect of others' religions. From the aspect of Buddhism, Dharma is also called a path of good behavior. It is difficult to separate between tolerance and Buddhism because Buddhism taught about forgiveness and the tolerance as a model of good character. Hinduism is explained as a religion that is made up of a diversity of beliefs. Hinduism performs diversity which there is no specific founder and the belief is in the divine trinity. For the Hindu, this religion is owned by individuals, and this believer can take whatever is good from other religions such as Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and of its kinds to be used together with Hindu belief. In Christianity, tolerance is classified as a good manners that is no matter it is performed in society and or religions. Other than that, for Sikhism, mutual respect and understanding formed by a tolerance between different religions. God defines love in Sikhism, and it is including other religions such as Christian, Muslim, and Hindus, but not limited to Sikhs. The basic teachings in Sikhs stated that people being in a honest living, sharing the rewards of living with other people, and do both in every moment of life without limitations. Tam Ring mentioned that a relationship could be close depends on the opportunities of interactions, not only by the characteristics of similarities or differences between them. Hence, the more chances we get to know each other, the more interactions take place in the community, the higher of potentials for tolerance among us. It is possible to increase religious tolerance in Malaysia if we keep the consistency and momentum with respecting and accepting others' religions. Chandra stated that the efforts towards increasing religious tolerance in Malaysia should be handled by solving the problem of inter-ethnic communications. This problem comes from ignorance of values, attitudes, customs of others, and it is worsened with the deep-rooted prejudice between two sides, which is Muslim and non-Muslim. By learning other religions, Malaysians can get a better understanding of good values and attitude from each other and expand the tolerance level with different religions. According to Ali, he mentioned that one of the teachings of Islam teaches Muslims to be considerate and tolerant of other religions. Same goes to non-Muslim. We need to have a strong sense of tolerance to Muslim community. Mutual understanding and respect will produce by consistent interactions among religions. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Respect is one of the many factors contributed to Malaysian economic development and growth is the existence and maintenance of religious tolerance and harmony among Malaysian multi-religious and multiracial citizens. Therefore, these research are aimed to study the impact of consistency in inculcating religious tolerance amongst Malaysians, investigates the steps that can be taken to instill religious tolerance amongst Malaysians and the factors that affect religious tolerance amongst Malaysians by implementing consistency technique.
My name is Wong Yuesin, and together with Anis, we will be presenting the methodology, also known as the research method, for this study. I will be presenting the research method and data collection procedure, and the rest, which are the population and study sample, and the instrument will be presented by my partner Anis. So without further ado, I will now begin the presentation. Quantitative research method we utilize in this study to gather data through a survey. Qualitative method is the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data to then generalize the result from a sample of a targeted population. This is suitable for our study because we have to generalize the result for a targeted population, which is the citizens of Malaysia. The other benefit of quantitative methods that attracted us to use it are that we are able to collect information quickly and are able to use randomized sample as we are limited with time and fundings. It is also especially useful when a series of data points are highly desirable within a particular demographic. It's a process that enables us to understand the reasons behind certain decisions, behaviors, or action from a societal viewpoint. When we can comprehend the meaning behind the decisions that people make, then it is easier to discover pain points or specific preferences that require solution. Then the data analysis can extend to the rest of the population so that everyone can benefit from this work. For example, through this study, we are able to determine that the reason behind religious intolerance is mainly because of misunderstanding between different races towards the other's religion.
Thank you, Yasin. Next, I'll be talking about the population and the study sample for this study. So, the population for this study was primarily focused on local Malaysians, plus the sample for the study was also randomly selected. This was to ensure that the probability of a person being selected from the population for the study was equally the same. The sample for the study consisted of 56 respondents who had filled the questionnaire through Google Form. This study's sample also included people of various ages, genders, and religion, which includes Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, and others. The research instrument used in the study was a questionnaire. The questionnaire was divided into two sections. Section A consisted of questions designed to elicit demographic information from the respondents, such as their age, gender, and their religion. This section aims to get an insight into the background of the respondents that are answering the questionnaire. On the other hand, Section B consisted of questions about the factors influencing religion tolerance among Malaysians by implementing consistency as a technique, the steps that can be taken to inculcate religion tolerance among Malaysians, and the impact of consistency in imparting religious tolerance among Malaysians. This section of the questionnaire aims to analyze the impact of consistent religious tolerance in fostering unity among Malaysians of various races and religion. Aside from that, the questionnaire aims to understand the multiple factors that are restricting Malaysians from successfully implementing tolerance despite religious and ethnic differences. So the questionnaires in the study consisted of 4 questions on the demographic profile of the respondent that comes from Section A and 10 questions that focuses on the objectives of the study in Section B. So the questionnaires of the study consisted of multiple choice questions as well as short subjective questions. The content and language used in the questionnaire of the study are very much comprehensible and convenient to answer. This was done especially to ensure that the respondents fully understood each question and provided the answers that were relevant to the objectives of the study. As a result, the finding of the study will be more credible. Furthermore, questions were only distributed for data collection after receiving proper approval and confirmation from Mr. Abdul Latif, our lecturer on religions in Malaysia at UCSI. That's all from me. Thank you.
Questionnaires were distributed as Google Form to respondents through various social media such as Facebook and WhatsApp. Before the respondent begin to answer the questionnaires, we make sure that they understand the purpose of our study and their rights as the participant. They agree to join the research once they understand that their information will be kept confidentially. The questionnaire was divided into 2 parts, which is Part A and Part B, and the respondents were required to answer all questions honestly. Every respondent's answer will be recorded accordingly after they submit the form. Eventually, the data from the Google form were collected and analyzed using pie charts and graphs.
Thank you, Anis and Chingru. Now I will talk about the result. First, let's talk about Section A, which is age, gender, and religion. 41 respondents were from group of 20 to 30 years old. The remaining 50 respondents were from other age groups. Next, 37 respondents are female and 90 respondents are male. Well, most of them are Buddhist, which is 71.4%, and Islam is 10.7%, and Hindu is 5.4%. Next, move to Section B. Most of the respondents just have a few of friends from other religions. and they rarely or sometimes attending the religious activities and celebrate festival with friends. They often interact with people and exchange information about each other religious. Moreover, most of them think consistently practicing religion tolerance help educate the religion problem and create a harmonious society. However, uh, what makes our country has religion problems? Most of the respondents think that different culture, different moral values, political issue, older generous mindset, and language barrier are those problems that affect it. Therefore, they think that we should respect others' religion, participate in multi-religion events, and maintain good attitude to solve this problem. This is all of my part. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ying. Me and my groupmate Kang Ching will be presenting on the discussion of findings. Firstly, I will just briefly go through the findings of our respondents' demographic. Majority of our respondents are female and majority of them are Buddhist. As most of our groupmates are Buddhist, where we might collect the responses from our family members, relatives or friends. Also, majority of them consist of family members from the same religion. In terms of age, majority of them are between the age of 20 to 30 years old. This is mostly due to our groupmates who are around the age of 20s. Then I'll be moving on to present the first question. For this question, most of the respondents has responded that they took part in religious practices once in a while, which shows that it is a good practice. This is because these people will be able to create an ethical framework as well as a regulator for values in day-to-day life. Moving on to the second question, based on the result that was presented previously, it shows that most of our respondents consist of an average number of friends from the other religions, which is actually a good thing because having friends from the other religions can promote multiculturalism. Next, moving on to the third question, there are some of them who responded that they will often celebrate festivals with their friends from the other religions. As a result, we will gain benefits from that, such as building better relationships with people from the other religions. Furthermore, the fourth question, there are two options for this question, either a yes or no. Those who had answered yes thinks that it will help eradicate those problems because religious tolerance is very important in Malaysia as it helps to maintain peace among people. However, for those who had answered a no, may think that the religion problem will not be completely solved as it will still be there. Moving on to the fifth question. For this question, many of them responded that they will ensure to respect each other's religion as it is very important when it aims to bring the people together to the prosperity of the nation. Thank you, that's all from me. Now I will pass it to Kang Ching.
Based on our result, there are a few answers such as racism, ethnocentrism in religion, and also misconceptions of other religions group are the answer from our participants. Especially for the ethnocentrism in religion, it represents an extremely serious element that could negatively affect many aspects of our society. Ethnocentric people typically tend to be egomaniac because they believe that their religions and beliefs are the most superior and intentionally ignore or do not aware of other religions or culture. Therefore, it will gradually increase the rate of prejudice and discriminations towards other religions. Different beliefs turn into the most significant difficulty when getting along with people of other religions. A group of people with various religions will act in different ways, and if they do not understand the belief of other religions, it will lead to misconceptions and intolerance as well. There are some practice and foods which view as a taboo for a certain religion, but it's accepted by other religions. Like for example, in the belief of Indians, the cow is a holy animal, so beef considered as a taboo for them. Hence, people must initially understand the belief and concept of other religion in order to get along well with friends from other religions, and it will also can promote tolerance among races. There are only 16 participants who have less interaction with people from other religion in a social setting. The reason is they may be faced with a new or different belief and practice. Maybe they will also feel uncomfortable communicating with people from other religion because of their own preconceived notion of idea and attitudes towards others. Lack of awareness or information of different religion and belief is also one of the most significant interaction barrier to interact with people from other religion. For question 9, out of 56 participants, there are only 4 strongly agree that they often have interaction with people from other religion. This result is based on the previous questions, which is about the participant social circle. As we can see, there are only 37.5% of participants responded that their social circle consists of only a few friends from other religions. Therefore, it will indirectly lead to a very few opportunity for them to exchange information about other religions' practice and belief. For these questions, according to Dr. Ibrahim Abu Bakar, he mentioned that religious tolerance has found among Malaysians, and it is very clear and evidence that the religions in Malaysia are preferred and they also consistently practice religious tolerance as well. The reason is, in this multi-religious society, people are cherishing peace and harmony. Consequently, Malaysians will be able to live in a comfortable and harmonic country, and it will also progressively increase economic growth and social stability in an indirect way. But on the opposite side, if people do not practice religious tolerance, it will result in a more terrorism and religiously based world.
To summarize, religious tolerance can be defined as demonstrating a respect of endurance. To summarize, religious tolerance can be defined as demonstrating a respect or endurance toward others' religious viewpoints. even those that one may consider wrong, and tolerance can be considered a virtue in someone who believes in ultimate truth. For instance, Muslims and Hindus, as well as those who believe in the fundamental and objective character of truth, have a real chance to be tolerant in these things. From the May 13 event to the more recent church burning and cowhead incidents, Malaysia has seen a great deal of religious intolerance as a result of its diverse religions. Religious intolerance is generally caused by misunderstanding across religions as well as one expectation of other religions. The individual that exhibit as a childish mindset are practically the radial force that are the cause of these tragedies. This might lead to disputation within the country, which can trigger racial harmony and also national unity of this country to be at risk. Aside from that, it has the potential to harm both politics and the economy. To avoid such behavior, we must come to an understanding of different religions, respect and embrace them for the sake of the country's future peace and stability as well as future prosperity. It is effective to foster religious tolerance when one realizes the experience and history of people who stand by them. A sequence of events or interactions that shape those faith systems emanate from Hindu, Buddhism, Chinese religions, and Abraham monotheism. There are some concerns which are political, such as China's warring kingdoms and thousands, while others were social, such as Hinduism's desire to adhere to a particular social structure. In essence, various experiences lead to various conceptual frameworks and religions. This statement allows religious tolerance to exist. The Malaysian government has encouraged different religions to prefer and maintain religious tolerance and harmony. It is because they are all for the benefit of all Malaysians and they aim to provide peace, stability, and prosperity to all Malaysians, no matter ethnic origin or either religious domination. Hence, Muslim and non-Muslim are both allowed to follow and choose their religious beliefs. Thank you.